Hello YouTube, this is Shacktack again. I am going to be doing another reading of the Cymbal Dragon. Where we left off was Fluttershy was falling asleep after a really good party and telling herself she's paranoid about a toy. Alright, here we go. Whoops. Part 2. Fluttershy rushed through the next morning. She had been so tired from the party last night, she had overslept. She didn't know what time it was, but she knew it was way past for her animal duties. She quickly brushed her teeth and combed her mane, ate a bowl of hay, made sure that the animals inside had food and water, and grabbed her saddlebag. "I'm off, Angel," she said to her white rabbit, who was sitting on the armchair. "Make sure everyone behaves." Angel nodded, and Fluttershy rushed out the door, slamming it on her way out. The house was quiet for a few seconds, then the animals began chattering and doing whatever they did when Fluttershy was gone. None of them seemed to notice the metallic dragon sitting on the shelf, seemingly staring at each and every one of them. Outside was a nice sunny day. Birds flew around, chirping and singing to greet the morning. One of them landed on Fluttershy's window box, right outside the living room's window, and started pecking at the dirt. The dragon's amber eyes lit up. Slowly and quietly, it spread its arms as far apart as they would go. The bird continued to root in the box, looking for some sort of insect to munch on. The dragon brought its cymbals crashing together. Clang! Outside, the bird fell off the window box and dropped to the ground, dead. The dragon's eyes returned to normal, and life went on as it always had for everyone and everything else. Fluttershy sat back in her armchair, reading her new encyclopedia. It was later in the day, and she had returned after a long day of keeping the animals of Ponyville happy and safe. She sighed somberly as she turned the pages. Normally, she'd be happy to come home after a long day of work. But when she came home, she had found a dead blue jay right outside her window. Even though she often came across them in her work, dead animals always made Fluttershy feel depressed. "Don't worry about it, Fluttershy," she told herself as she read the article on mallards. "These things happen. There's nothing that can be done about it. It was probably just its time." Yes, that must be it. There were no markings, no injuries, nothing to say that its death wasn't natural. But it looked so young. Well, youth didn't have anything to do with life. The next day, she herself might collapse dead of a... No, Fluttershy, don't think that way. You're still young and healthy, and you have so many years ahead of you. It's not time to think about depressing things like that." Fluttershy sighed again. No matter how many dead animals she would see in her lifetime, she would probably have these thoughts after every clang! Eep! Fluttershy squeaked as she jumped in her seat, startled. Her eyes quickly darted around the room as she searched for whatever could have made that sound. They focused on the metallic dragon sitting on her shelf, staring in her direction. No. It couldn't have been that. It was broken. They had already proven that. She put her book down, got out of her seat, and walked over to the shelf. She took the dragon down, turned the brass key on his back, and waited. Nope, still broken. "Wow, Fluttershy, are you always this paranoid?" she asked herself. "Maybe you need a drink." "Yeah, good idea," Fluttershy answered herself. "Just need a drink." She walked into the kitchen, grabbed a cup, and poured a drink from the sink. While she was drinking, she looked through the bottom of her glass and screamed. There, in front of her, was Hummingway, laying on the table, dead. She dropped the glass on the floor, and it shattered to bits. Too shocked to notice, she walked over to the dead hummingbird and picked up its corpse. After a few seconds of just staring in shock, her eyes welled up in tears, and she broke down, crying over her departed feathered friend. So that's part 2, and I'm going to be doing part 3. So Don't worry. He